A movie that features more gay jokes than a roast of Richard Simmons and a killer that dresses in drag. You better pray you don't end up at this camp. We watched Bloody Bloody Bible Camp. We watched it so you don't have to. So you know what time it is.
Horror, so bad and scary. Splitting up is never okay. Plot, who needs it? Don't turn on the lights. Cars don't ever start, but that's alright. Running upstairs instead of out the door. Good acting, what do we need that for? Horrible horror, so bad and scary. Enjoy the show, but not really.
Praise the Lord, Moon Goons! It is the newest episode of Horrible Horror, the podcast where we watch the worst of the worst in horror movies. Movies so bad they're scary. I'm your righteous, divine host, Marshall Hampton. With me today is my brother, my pastor, my deacon, if you will, Mr. Aaron Southworth.
Hallelujah, everyone. Good day, good day. The Lord has given us a good day, but he has given us a shit movie. We watched Bloody Bloody Bible Camp, and good God almighty, is it shitty.
We'll get into what obviously our personal opinions of this a little bit later, but just, jump off to the prequel information here. Prequel. I don't know why I said prequel. Pre-information. It was released on May 5th, 2012. Standard runtime of 90 minutes. You can find it on Amazon and iTunes. Did you find it anywhere else?
I went on iTunes this time.
You went on iTunes this time? Okay.
Because I just now joined. I finally got some Apple stuff, so I'm pretty happy.
Alrighty. It was written by Shelby McIntyre and Vito Trabucco, also directed by Vito Trabucco. Now, for cast-wise, it's got an interesting cast. For diehard horror fans, you'll recognize some of the people in it because it stars Reggie Bannister, who plays Father Cummings, and he's referred to by some as the hardest working man in horror. And he's known most famously for his role as the intrepid ice cream vendor turned hero in the action horror series Phantasm, numbers 1 through 4. He's got like 55 credits to his name. And another one that a lot of people might be aware of, but it was like a kind of cult hit, I guess, was Bubba Hotep. He was in that. And then Sister Mary Chopper. Well, I'm not going to say, I'm going to skip that one. But we will say that Tim Sullivan is also in the movie. He's known for, he's an actor, producer, and director. He's directed 2001 Maniacs and its sequel, along with Hood of Horror, which stars Snoop Dogg. And
Sweet.
Yeah. And some of you might recognize, maybe you've ever watched it. He was a judge on the 2010 season of the VH1 show Scream Queens, where they were trying to find the new horror starlet. I actually watched the show. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. As anybody else, let's see, that's worth noticing, we have Brittany, or Jessica Sonneborn, who plays Brittany. She was in a few other horror movies called The Haunting of Alice D, Never Open the Door, and Detour into Madness, Volume 1, along with 42 other things. Then Deborah Venegas, who's the kind of star of this one. She was also in two of those movies, The Haunting of Alice D and Never Open the Door. So we're getting a lot of crisscross with these casts again. Just like you kind of see this a lot in the independent movie scene.
It seems like a lot of the cast members work a lot together.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
And a couple, the only few other people I'll mention is it also features Reggie Bannister's wife, Gigi Bannister, also known as Fast L, because I think she's got Native American blood or heritage or something. But she's done other horror movies and producers along with her husband Reggie. And to bring it back around to a couple other things, we have Lisa Dowling, who she has 94 credits. I think she has the most credits of anybody in the cast. But against all like really she stuff, like she did Orgy of the Damned, and then like Emmanuel Through Time.
Sweet.
One of those Emmanuel Skin City, Showgirls 2.
I didn't even know they made a sequel.
Yeah, apparently they made a sequel to that, and Orgy of Blood. So 2 orgy movies.
Hey, Orgy of Blood's kind of one of those cult classics too.
Have you seen it?
I have not.
I haven't seen it yet either. And the last person I'm going to mention, just for our personal connection here, is Jeff Dylan Graham, who plays Dwayne in this movie. 67 credits to his name, but he was in Silent Night, Bloody Night 2, the revival.
Okay.
Orgy of the Damned as well. Also Emmanuel Through Time, Emmanuel Skin City. And he should have looked a little familiar to you because he was in Blood Valley 2, Siege Revenge, where he played like the son of the cop, that white trashy guy.
Yeah. Okay.
That was him.
Huh, poor bastard.
Yeah. So
Loved him way better than this.
yeah, much better in this movie. Much better in this movie. All right, so let's grab our crucifixes, let's grab our sleeping bags, and let's go to camp. Let's get started here.
Let's go. I'll bring the wieners.
All right, better be jumbo
The
wiener.
jumbo wieners.
All right, so the movie opens at the Happy Day Bible Camp in 1977. It focuses on two girls, Bambi and Betty, and they're talking about the size of Jesus's cock.
So,
and that's how we open the movie.
Right off the bat, I'm like, all right, going right for the jugular with offensiveness.
Yeah, we're just going straight offensiveness with this movie.
But hey, that's funny to me.
Yeah. And basically, the theory they come up with is that because he was Jesus, well, he would have to have a big dick. So in order to be a good Christian girls, they should only have sex with guys that have big dicks like Jesus.
Yep.
That's their theory.
Hey, makes sense to me. Amen.
And so inside the cabin, we kind of see the rest of this cast at the point, the group. There's this long-haired hippie guy. Then there's two kind of, I guess they're supposed to be portrayed as nerdy guys because I don't know why, but I guess because one's got a mustache and the other's talking about Star Wars or something.
Oh, it was pretty funny though. I did like it because it's just like, yeah, I just saw that movie Star Wars. Yeah, how was it? It's horrible.
Yeah,
it's not going to make any money.
Yeah, exactly. I thought
I'm like, that's pretty funny.
I thought it was funny too.
These two guys, I love them.
Yeah, I guess I don't understand why they were like the girls initially were like, oh, they're losers, and like they're actually like the funniest characters in the movie.
I love these guys. They're my favorite characters in the whole movie.
Yeah, they're great.
All business. They're just total like horn dog weirdos with these awesome short shorts.
Oh, super short shorts. And the one guy's rocking a crazy stash.
Perfect dirt stash. Like, and the other guy's got some pretty like gnarly glasses.
Red glasses.
Yeah, like almost like nerd glasses, but they're red frames.
Yeah, they're red frames. And there's this normal guy. He's just there. Like, there's really no personality to this guy.
Yeah,
he's just there.
There was a kind of a bushy-haired kid, but then there was this older fat guy.
There's this older guy who's kind of bald, and he's dressed like he's going to a disco.
You know what he fucking looks like is that 70s show, the neighbor of I didn't watch that show enough. Donna's dad.
Yeah, Donna's dad.
Yeah, he looks like kind of like just that with that fro and the size and everything.
He looks like Red. What's his name or something? I don't know.
No,
not the dad. What?
Not the main character. Fuck it. Anyway.
Oh, Donna's dad. Oh, yeah. Dad. Okay, yeah.
I didn't watch the show enough, but
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, he has less fro than that guy. I barely watched it too. Anyway, this guy's name is Brother Bo. He's associated with the camp somehow. And then we meet Father Bobbins or some Bobbins. And this guy, he's a priest, and he is an Elvis freak. And he loves Elvis. And we also meet Millie. And now Millie she's fucking... She's an astronaut. She is crazy, like out of orbit here. She wears roller skates with short shorts, tight red shirt, and her eye makeup looks like it was put on by an insane woman.
Like it's like a white streak, kind of. It's really weird.
It's white, like really wide and white, that goes like straight up, and it's got like a blue streak right down the middle of the white.
And she's very dark.
And,
yeah, she's like Puerto Rican or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Definitely
she's very dark skinned.
But it just looks absolutely ridiculous.
Looks
it's
pretty
awful.
crazy.
So anyway, the nerdy guys inside tell the others that they plan on being balls deep in Bambi and Betty tonight,
which,
thanks to the help of real, authentic Spanish fly from Mexico.
Yeah.
And Father Bobbins is outside talking to Millie, and he loses his shit on her when Millie's like, "I never listened to Elvis. I thought he was just a big fat drughead anyway." And the priest goes ape shit.
The priest, quote unquote, he calls her a fucking whore
and
says she's going to burn in hell.
Exactly.
And he's supposed to be the priest.
And he storms off.
And the whole time he's drinking a flask.
He's drinking out of the flask, and he just storms off calling everybody motherfuckers. So, and then back to the nerdy guys. I never really get their names. I think one's name's Chad or Chaz or something, but I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
They're pouring 2 glasses of punch, and they drop a Spanish fly into each glass, and then they spike it with vodka or rum or something.
It's a clear liquor.
Yeah, for good measure. And then they give Bambi and Bay each one of the punch-filled glasses, and they both drink it down, even though there's clearly a visible pill floating in the punch. Like, you can see this big white pill just floating on the top of the surface.
Now, to their credit, he did just go, "Hey, it's some special drink." So they don't know if it's I don't know, speed or I don't know what was good drugs in the 70s.
I guess,
don't
but
know.
I guess, yeah, 70s was the same time, but
Quaalude
70s
or something. I don't
Nowadays,
know.
some guy just walks up to a girl and hands him a drink with a pill floating in it. I don't think people are just get up and
it's
drink it.
Sweet.
So
Well,
eventually,
they were just talking about big Christian cock, so
Yeah.
you know.
and we also noticed at this point there is another guy out there smoking weed, but you don't really see him.
Trying to chat it up with the girls, but it's not working.
Yeah, and so eventually everyone disperses and goes their own separate ways, and the two guys take the girls off into the woods. And this is where I just mentioned we kind of meet Dwayne, he's the guy who's smoking weed with the girls, and he just kind of gets cock blocked here and just pushed out of the way. Yeah. And in the woods, the girls start making out, and Betty is wearing like the largest belt I have ever seen. Like the thing is the size of like a weightlifter's belt. It's huge.
I didn't even pay attention to it.
Oh my god, I couldn't take my eyes off it. It was so big. I mean, it looked like the WWE Championship belt. It's huge. So the guy in the glasses, he just like takes Bambi and carries him off.
Quite literally throws her over his shoulder.
He's like, "We're going."
Very caveman.
While Betty and the other guy, they go the opposite direction. Now we cut to the hippie guy who is now shirtless for some reason, and he's sitting on the ground rolling a joint.
Hey man, you got to get in touch with Mother Nature.
I guess, but it's like we just saw him like 2 minutes ago, and he's completely dressed, and now he's just wearing
Nothing,
like,
no
jean
shirt.
jeans.
And he's got a very Jesus Christ
He
look
does
to him.
look like
Yeah,
Jesus. He's got the long,
real
brown
dirty
beard.
hippie,
Yeah.
long, big beard, big hair.
Yeah, he's got the Jesus look to him.
Why didn't the girls go for him?
Exactly.
Because he didn't have the fucking drinks.
Or he has a small dick.
Yeah, or he's got a tiny cock.
Yep. So basically, we see someone walking in long black robes walk up behind the guy with painted fingernails and holding like a half dagger, half crucifix type thing.
Yeah, it's a crucifix with the bottom of the crucifix with a blade coming out of
Yeah.
it. So like the top of the crucifix, like the handle.
Yes. And so the hippie's killed when the killer just stabs the hippie through the back of the head of the skull with the dagger, and which comes through the hippie's eye socket, and the eyeball gets like
Pops up into
out,
frame.
pops into the frame like it's stuck on the end of the dagger. Boom, freeze frame, start rolling the credits. Now, if any of you, for those of you who've been listening for a while, this weapon reminded me exactly the same thing that it used in Splatter University, where that killer priest, he hit it in a crucifix as well. It's not as big. This one's much bigger than that one was, but it's like the same thing. So, at this point, it's like murder lightning round, really, for a horror movie, because it just goes kill, 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 kill real quick.
It really does. It's a great way to open the movie.
Yeah, it's like wonderful way to open. And so we go to Disco Dave, as we go, or Brother Bo, or whatever his name is, and he just gets killed while pissing outside on the cabin. He's just pissing. He gets stabbed through the neck. He dies. More crits. So basically, after every kill, it kind of freeze frames, and then a few more credits roll, and we go back to the movie.
Special effects by so and so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So back to Bambi and Chaz, or whatever his name is, and he has her pinned against a tree. He's trying to make out with her and like trying to fuck her, and she's like, "Nope, nope. But if you want to fuck me, take me back to the cabin." He's like, "All right, we're going back to the cabin.
I'm going to take you back to the cabin."
We're going back to the cabin. So off they go. Now, Father Bobbins, who is drinking wine, lounging on the patio while wearing what looks like old school wrestling tights. Like he looks like something like the thing Roddy Wright Piper used to wear, those big blue tights. And
like
he's got
Speedo tights. Yeah.
And like this open buttoned up shirt that's hanging open, and so it's like thick black chest hair. But it looks like it's spray painted on.
Father Bobbins is a weird motherfucker.
He wears like a weird silk robe.
It's a fucking weird wig that he's got on too. I almost thought his beard was fake too. Jesus,
could have been.
I mean, the guy is he just looks so weird.
Yeah,
because he had these Elvis glasses on too.
Yeah,
which just made everything just so bizarre. Yeah. Like he looked ridiculous. I mean, just fucking stupid.
Yeah, I mean, did you notice the chest hair too? Like. It looked. I mean, yeah, he has hair, but it looked so thick. Like somebody just like spray painted his chest
like that
black.
Fake hairspray.
That's exactly what I was thinking it was. So anyway, the killer comes over behind him and strangles Father Babbins with like a short rope. He's dead. We jump to Betty and her mustached guy in the woods, and Betty's like wants him to fuck her while she's bent over this tree stump. And she has a great line here, which is, "The back door is always open for Jesus, baby." That's her line. So Dirt Stash goes to fuck her, but he busts his nut like as soon as his hand touches her hips.
Can't even keep it together long enough to get it out of his pants.
Yeah, like he just gone. So he's like, all right, right there. And he runs off to go manually get himself ready again. And we go to the normal looking camera with just the bushy hair, like the no personality guy we mentioned earlier. And he's playing a guitar up against a tree, singing some song about the devil sucking his balls or something.
It's not a bad little song. It's very blues rocky. I kind of liked it. It wasn't bad.
And he hears the sound of people banging inside the cabin. So he looks in through the window. And this is where we see Bambi and Chaz are fucking in the bed. And the moment Chaz comes, he just like gets up to go take a shit. Like, bam, up, I'm going to take a shit.
It's comical boning, too. She's on top just going, woo, yeah, come on. You know,
yeah,
like
this
laughing.
movie is very tongue-in-cheek, very campy. It's not as serious. But yeah.
And of course, he's like, I gotta go take a shit.
Yeah, this is insanely over the top. And the poop is just beyond insane. The way, like, again, it's something you'd see in like, I've definitely seen like a Lloyd Kaufman, like a Trauma movie, like Lloyd Kaufman, or even like a South Park episode or something. It's really over the top.
Over the top fart noises
and weird
faces and he's sweating, he's naked on the toilet, just God.
Yeah. And when he's done, he notices there's no toilet paper, so his solution to this is, I guess Bambi's gonna have to lick my ass clean. He basically says,
my rusty starfish.
Yeah, he seriously says, I guess Bambi, you're gonna have to lick my rusty starfish.
I don't think they said that in the 70s.
I
could be wrong.
Who knows? Well, yeah, who knows?
We'll have to do some research as to
butthole slang.
Yeah. Get on that, Marshall.
So outside, the peeping Tom guy feels a hand touch his shoulder, and he's like, Father Bobbins again. So there's our first gay priest, gay hookup joke in the movie. And
plenty more to come.
A lot more to come. And he turns around and he just gets killed by getting stabbed repeatedly in the stomach. So he's dead now. Next, the killer basically just kills Chad while he's sitting on the toilet naked, and he gets gutted. So Chaz is now dead. I mean, it's really quick here. And this takes us back to Betty and her guy in the woods. Now, the guy returns to Betty, who's still bent over the tree stump. He pulls her skirt down and just starts fucking her. So he's going to town.
I do like he goes, wow, you actually literally did not move.
Yeah.
I like that.
But the thrusting motions, the force of his thrusting, causes Betty's head to fall off and roll down the hill because she's
already been killed.
She's been beheaded. But does this stop him from fucking the dead headless corpse? Fuck no, it doesn't stop him from fucking a dead headless corpse.
Nope, and he's shocked, but at the same time he's like, oh my god, but he just doesn't stop.
Nope, he bangs away.
And there's blood squirting out the top of the neck hole. And, yeah, it's pretty over the top.
Yeah, so he's kind of going between like, oh my god, fear, and oh my god, this feels so good type thing.
He just couldn't help himself.
Yeah. And the killer comes up behind him, and we always see like blood spray and splash over this guy's face coming from below.
He comes behind him, and he has the knife crossed down by his crotch, and then we
see it kind of chest, and then just see it kind of. It cuts away really awkwardly because you don't really see where the knife goes.
I got the impression that he cut his wiener off.
Another decapitation.
Decapitation. I like that.
It's pretty much what I kind of got from that, too. So we cut back to Bambi, who's lying in bed. She hears glass breaking, and she goes to investigate. Now, keep in mind, at this point, she is butt naked. And she enters the bathroom. She screams at the sight of the gutted Chaz naked on the toilet. And she makes a run for it. And she runs down the stairs in slow motion, boobs bouncing away in slow-mo, and a huge swatch of black bush staring you right in the eye.
And I think it's a merkin, which is actually a pubic hair wig. There's my research for you.
It could be.
Merkins.
It could be, because it was huge.
Rhymes with gherkin, which is a tiny cocktail pickle.
Yes, it is. So, and the way this is shot, the camera is like zooming in on her as she's coming down the stairs, so it kind of hits a point where the camera is basically just zooming straight into her bush. And she opens the front door. The killer throws his like cross dagger. The dagger finds its mark perfect in the back of Bambi's head. She falls out the door, arms spread wide, tits and bush in full glory, as the main title card comes out of her bush to fill the screen.
To say bloody Bible camp.
Yeah. Which is... So that is like the first 10 minutes of this movie.
It's like it's almost 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
I watched it twice. I was like, I want to watch the beginning. Because the beginning's fun.
Yeah, it is. So we fast forward to 1984. Now, let's say this. This movie is like a reverse sandwich. It's instead of like all the good stuff in the middle, The good stuff is at the the bread. It's like on the end.
Right.
It opens great and it ends great, but then there's like this dull stuff going on in the middle.
That's a good way of putting it. Reverse sandwich.
So yeah,
I like it.
So we fast forward to 1984 now.
Maybe a reverse taco.
Yeah, there you go.
Reverse Oreo.
Reverse Oreo. Yeah.
Reverse hot dog.
Now we're just pushing it.
I know I'm trying here.
We're pushing.
All right.
So we get this long driving shot of a new batch of campers riding in a van and singing Jesus songs. The van stops at the small town gas station quick stop, which again you mentioned this before, and like the cliche that things happen like all the time now.
Yep.
And we basically meet the new cast of campers, which consists of Father Cummings, who is bald with like ring around the head, scalp, and a long ponytail in the back. Like I said, he's played by Reggie Bannister.
Right.
Then we have Brother Zeke, the black man with the jerry curled hair.
It's a horrible wig. Jesus.
It's horrible. The wigs are awful.
Awful.
But I'm honestly wondering if that's like intentional to make him like look that.
Well, the movie
comical.
is so fucking campy. It's just ridiculous.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think it's intentional.
Brother
and then,
Zeke.
Then we have like the innocent, gullible, and simple-minded fat kid Timmy. Brittany, the hot but dumb Christian girl. Then we have like the Fellowship of Christian Athlete member Tad, like the football quarterback. We have the nerdy guy Vance. Then we have the punk girl Jennifer. She's punk, but she also kind of looks like a lot like the Madonna fashion, like that Madonna
right, yeah,
stage.
kind of like Madonna, punky, princey.
What was it?
Kinda...
What was that movie? Was like Searching Susan or Desperately Seeking
Susan?
Like that look, that Madonna look.
Yeah,
that was really big in the 80s at that time. So, and then we have Millie, the girl that we saw in roller skates with the insane makeup. She's with him, but she looks normal now. The makeup's gone.
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I mean, there's no. It's like, oh well, that's
like,
her.
Well, it's her again.
Yeah.
But she has a different name now or something.
Yeah, well,
isn't she Gloria or something like that?
Her real name's Gloria,
okay,
but
now she's called
Millie now,
right,
and it's just easier to call her Millie. So, inside the gas station is run by three brothers: JJ, this kind of fat guy, but kind of cool; Skunk, the obnoxious, loudmouth, skinny guy; and a now scarred and comatose Dwayne, who we saw at the beginning during the opening.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing Dwayne, Millie rushes back to the van so Dwayne doesn't see her. And Brother Z goes to the beer coolers to grab beer. And
a whole bunch of beer that they didn't sell in 1984.
Thank you. I had this run up because the production team did not do a very good job of matching the beers to the date.
Or any of the products really in the whole store.
Yeah,
I'm
because
just looking around, I'm like, fuck this.
Grant, like, they turn... A lot of them, they turned the labels around for lumps so you couldn't
There's like
see
a whole shitload of Four Loko that was for sale.
Exactly. Like they forgot all the cans at the bottom.
Right.
Like Four Loko wasn't even invented yet. And they also had
it wasn't until like 2014.
Yeah. And
12.
They had bottles of Mike's Hard Lemonade, which was another one they had, and which didn't have in 1984. Mm-hmm. And then they also you saw
picking, but you know.
Yeah, but you saw your traditional Corona and Sam Adams bottles in there as well. So, yeah, I was like, unless this gas station has a time machine in it or something, those bottles should not be there.
It's my alcohol cabinet time machine. Can't go forward in time, but you can get future beers here.
Yeah, you don't need a hot tub time machine. You need an alcohol cooler time machine.
Go.
So, anyway, each person, they grab various items, food or whatnot. Now, Jennifer, the punk Madonna-looking girl, she bumps into this punk guy, like, straight up, like, black eye makeup, like, safety pin through the ear, like, look black.
Classic 80s punk look.
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
It's like goth punk almost.
Yeah.
But and this is the one who's played by Tim Sullivan, the cameo guy. And she tries flirting with him, but he's not really having it. And he's like, stealing is a sin because she was about to steal a bag of like gummy bears or something. I don't know. And she puts it back, and he says, well, maybe you should get down on your knees and start asking for forgiveness. And then does like the mark of the cross thing that I don't know what you call it, the Catholic
You nailed
dude.
it. You nailed it.
And he's holding like a little silver crucifix in his hand. He does this with her, and he holds up the crucifix. And Jennifer licks the crucifix when he's done, which that's just weird. But I don't. But I kind of sexy.
Ooh, sacrilegious and sexy.
So eventually they leave and they get back to the road, but not until we have the cliche gas station warning about not going where they're going. And so I'm gonna skip over that because it's the cliche line. And now we have a flashback where JJ tells the father about what happened to Dwayne 7 years ago at the camp. And it shows Dwayne fucking some unseen girl, and the killer, Sister Mary Chopper is the killer's name, come up behind him with the cross dagger. Dwayne gets sliced twice across the face as the unseen girl screams. So they finally make it to the Happy Day Bible Camp and start unloading the van. Now, the girls are unpacking. Brittany spots one of Jennifer's tapes labeled Satan's Hookers, which I just thought was a great name for a band at the time. I mean, I thought that was really funny. That's the only reason I bring it up. And in the boys' room, Tad is, he stands around doing like a pee-pee dance. I mean, he's got his hand in his pants. He's like dancing like he has to go to the bathroom, but he's talking about how hot Brittany is.
So he's got such a boner, he can't even hold still.
Yeah, apparently.
So, and it's like the next half hour, 40 minutes is just full of shit like this.
Yeah.
And it's constant. And it's hit you over the head dumb. You know, I was...
So it's also worth mentioning, Tad's outfit is insane. He wears cut-off jean shorts with a half shirt and a Letterman's jacket open. I mean, it's like, a half shirt.
It was the 80s, man. That football half shirt.
God.
Yeah. That was a thing in the 80s.
Yeah, you're kind of right, 80s, but man, he looks...
So gay.
Exactly, he looks so gay. Straight out of San Francisco gay, man.
Whoa.
During this scene, the guy... the two guys, Vance and Tad, are giving Timmy shit about his boners, even though Tad's the one like dancing with his in his hand, apparently. Which Timmy just happens to get one all of a sudden, and he runs out crying and begging Jesus to take his sinful boner away.
And this Timmy guy, he's either a fantastic actor or he really is a special needs person.
Yeah.
I can't tell.
I was the same way. I was like, is he? Like, it was hard to tell. Like, I did the same
He's either
thing.
really fucking good or he's minorly retarded. Like, I can't tell.
Yeah, I was the same way. So in the office, it was Father Cummings, and he's talking to Millie and Brother Zeke about how the church is trying to afford to actually buy this camp. Because I guess right now they're just like up here for the weekend to see it out and think about buying it permanently.
Yeah.
To make this an annual thing. But Millie says the church would have more money if the two of them didn't drive Jags. And this pisses Zeke off because God damn it, he drives a caddy. And I'm like, why do you get so mad? Because last I checked,
I'm a black man. I drive a Cadillac.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like a Jag to me is much higher quality and better than a caddy. In my opinion,
it's a
a
black joke.
Okay.
You know, an attempt at it. Because black mans love Cadillacs.
That's kind of what I thought too, but
And
it's like it's just weird the way it's all delivered. It
It's
just gets
not
a little,
good.
Yeah.
It's not done well.
No.
No.
So-
Like I said, it's just kind of like you said. It's the reverse sandwich. This stuff in the middle. Some of it's kind of funny, but some of it's really bad.
Yeah, some of it's forced. There's some things that hit the mark that are good. Other things are just forced.
Way off. Yeah.
And now we go back to Timmy, who accidentally jerks himself off to get rid of his
He's
boner.
praying for. It's like this above shot. He's looking up. The camera's looking down on his face, and he's like so upset. He's like, "Jesus, take my evil boner away!" And he looks like he's kind of jerking off.
Yeah.
And then he comes.
With-
What's all this white stuff?
And he's like, he thinks his jizz is holy water.
Which Pastor Cummings has been telling me about.
Yeah.
And it's God.
So later that night, everyone's sitting around the fire. They're talking, whatnot. Millie hits on Jennifer. And Brother Zeke and Tad are hitting on Brittany. And at this point, I put Millie hits on Jennifer, I think, because I was watching this aura. But no, it is totally. There's some straight up like lesbian stuff going on later in this movie with these two. So Father Cummings makes a lot of dick sucking innuendos about hot dogs here, and he goes and
It's just constant.
It's constant, and he goes into some song about camp, which is actually really sexist too.
Incredibly.
It's really he's like, the guys are gonna do all this, and the girls are just gonna be
The guys are going to be hunting and having fun. The girls are going to be cleaning and cooking.
and they're learn how to become happy homemakers.
It's
and,
a whole song about it.
Yeah.
In the end, it's like, don't be a sinner. Let's all have fun and grab our wieners.
Don't
or something
yeah,
like that.
I'll bring the wieners or something like that.
And it's
Uh,
so many wiener hot dog dick jokes.
Oh, so many constant innuendos. So now we see Sister Mary Chopper in her like lair, which is lit up by candles. It's like same like like an old insane person's like religious sanctuary or something like that.
Or it's kind of reminded me of like like in the remake of Friday 13th, or even not the remake, but like like in Friday 13th Part 2, when Jason has his little lair kind of area.
Oh, where the mother's head's kept?
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but with more lights. Or even in the Halloween remake, wasn't Halloween? I don't remember what it was. But it's just kind of like these weird little lairs where lurking underground.
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot like they have their layers somewhere. Yeah. We never really know where this one is, but yeah. And she's saying the Lord's Prayer. But the way she's saying it is really weird because she's almost sounding like she's getting off on it. Yeah. My kingdom come, will be done. Yeah, it's really like. But you can clearly tell that the person is altering their voice. It's not. You can clearly tell it's somebody altering their voice. And then we see her stab the cross dagger into like an altar, and we cut away to Brother Zeke, who's spying on Brittany as she undresses through a window. But how she doesn't see him is fucking ridiculous.
They're like 2 feet away from each other.
They're basically making eye contact with each other. She's standing right in front of the window looking directly out. He's standing directly in front of the window looking straight into it. And there's like no curtain. There's like a sheer white curtain that's like halfway closed, barely closed, that you can see right through.
Yeah. And he's just going, I love white women.
Yeah.
He keeps like, I'm like, okay, I get it.
I hate Zeke I found him really annoying.
They all were annoying. They're all horrible.
So Cummings walks up and catches him spying. Zeke's like, I'm sorry. But Cummings says, well, at least I didn't catch you spying on the boys undressing. And again, what?
And they laugh like overly hysterical about it.
Like these are, I know it's comedy or supposed to, I know campy and they're trying to make jokes, but good Lord, these are the worst religious people ever.
Yeah.
Like how did anybody send their kids with these people to camp? How do they even have a following or a church to even run like with these kind of like what is wrong with these people?
Well, it was the 80s. Who knows?
God. So on top of that, Zeke hands a joint over to Cummings too because he's had a joint with him. He was out of nowhere, and Zeke calls him the White Devil as he walks away. So now he's a racist priest brother who, and not brother as a black man brother, but like
deacon,
deacon.
Brother of the church.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I don't.
White Devil.
White Devil.
Yeah.
Who wears an awful Jerry Curl wig at the same time. So, meanwhile, Millie is having nightmares, and we see like a blood-covered Dwayne come out of nowhere and kind of crawl on top of her in her bed. She wakes up, he's gone. The next morning, everyone wakes up for breakfast. More gay jokes because about like the only thing better than a jumbo wiener is a big brown sausage. So more going on.
More gay. Yep.
And we get to see more shots of Sister Mary lighting candles in her lair, saying prayers, and talking to herself about sinning. And
it's okay, we just saw it. Now we're doing it again. Come on, we're doing more gay jokes again.
Yeah,
it's like 45 minutes of this.
Yeah,
and
and this takes us to the Bible Bowl.
Yeah, and I do like that Timmy's wearing a shirt that says, I smile because I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Kind of like a shirt.
It was good. So it was just basically this is a Bible trivia game, which everyone has to play, and the winner got a brand new Spanish Bible. That was, I don't know. And Timmy gets the first question correct, and Cummings says that everyone has to catch up with Timmy because he's launched ahead. I'm like, launched ahead? It's one fucking point. How is that launching ahead?
But then they do this like quick montage, and it shows Timmy kicking ass.
Yeah, eventually does. And then so
the
Timmy
montage goes into
gets question 2 right. And then the only thing to bring up at this is really that Jennifer the punk girl kind of like with each question she kind of has like a little rebuttal or like a question about like questioning things, like questioning the Bible and what's real and what's not. And
you ask for forgiveness, you go to heaven. What if Hitler asked for forgiveness?
Yeah, well, he'd go to heaven then. Hitler's in heaven. And then one's like the question's like one of the Bible trivia questions is what does God do to women who have abortions? And the correct answer to this is they burn in hell. So like we just have more offensive enough. And they ask the same thing about homosexuals, and then Jennifer shouts out they become priests. So like, wah, wah, wah. And once the Bible Bowl is over, we get the montage of the campers just like swimming, goofing around. Like, now it's
go down to
playtime.
the lake or the pond, and they're all swimming around.
Yeah, Millie and Jennifer having more like lesbian-esque interactions.
Yeah, they're like flirting with each other, feeding each other fruit and stuff.
Yeah, Vance and Todd are oogling over Brittany, and Timmy's just being a failure at everything. Like he just screws
but
everything up.
It's like more like Tad and Timmy are having fun. Like they're playing.
There are times when
they're playing.
like that
quite a
relationship
bit.
is really weird because the times it seemed like okay, that's gonna be the bully jock who's gonna
He
pick
gave
on
him a hug and
but
everything.
then there's times like they're hugging. He's like helping him do push-ups, and he's like joking. But then he's like, "I hate you. No, I love you." It's like it's a really weird dynamic that I can't really figure out between those two. So
like, Tad is really bipolar.
Yeah.
You know?
So Zeke he's perving in on Brittany again, while Cummings is talking about becoming a priest. Millie and Jennifer they talk some more about Vance watches Brittany doing squats for the Lord. I remember that she's like doing squats and just saying prayers while squatting or something. I don't know.
So dumb.
And we get more Sister Mary being crazy in her lair, which again we've seen so many times already. Like this is the third time in like 10 minutes.
We fucking get it.
Yeah, and she's cutting herself. She's singing to dolls. And we have that. She's dressed like a nun. She wears a nun's habit, but she wears a devil's mask.
Very
over her face.
Dark red devil's mask.
And I know it's a devil's mask, but it reminded me of Kane from like WWE.
Yeah.
Like one of Kane's like original masks.
Almost like a hybrid of Kane and Daredevil.
Yes, that's a great.
Yeah,
that is an awesome analogy to put comparison. I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah, Kane Daredevil combo. Yeah. So we cut to Gas Station Brothers again. They're drinking. And Dwayne writes on his like little chalkbook because like that's like how he has to communicate now.
For some reason, Dwayne's he's so traumatized or injured that he can't communicate.
Yeah,
he's
just comatose.
Speak, but he can kind of communicate on his chalkboard.
Yeah, he can write. And he writes the name Gloria on the chalkboard. And JJ says like, I don't give a shit. We're not going up to that camp.
We tried to warn him.
We warned him. We're not going up there. So back at the camp, Tad is doing chin-ups on a tree branch, and I have to say, I was impressed by this because that shit ain't easy.
No,
and he is just doing it like real fucking easy, like it's a breeze. So and his movement's smooth, and and it's not pull-up. I mean, this is the chin-up one.
The kid's ripped.
Yeah, and but with each rep, he's saying to himself, "I'm a straight male with no homosexual tendencies. I'm a straight male with no homosexual tendencies." That's his mantra as he's doing these chin-ups, and so the next several minutes are filled with people talking and more innuendo jokes, blah, blah, blah. Zeke does ask Brittany if she wants someone to play with, and she tells him her daddy doesn't let her play with black boys. So, again, more just, this movie's out to offend pretty much everybody. Like, it really is this, I'm surprised this isn't a trauma film, to be honest.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, it's definitely cut from the same cloth.
So, more lesbian-esque scenes between Millie and Jennifer, and they're about to kiss. They're about to get the kiss on when they're interrupted by Tab, who's like, "Hey, I didn't know you were dyking it," and he just runs off.
Yeah.
Vance then tells Brittany that he only reads the Bible to find loopholes in it. And Vance, he's the quiet character, and he wears like jeans with like sandals and like one of those like Western style shirts, but it's tucked in, and he looks kind of dweeby. But
yeah, he's kind of dorky.
Yeah. But he's like, I just read this for loopholes, and that's just, which I thought like, all right, kind of funny.
Respect
that. So we cut to Sister Mary now, who's walking through the woods with an axe. So that's all she does. We see her walking through with an axe. And Tad and Zeke, they're talking about banging Brittany next. So both of them now want to fuck Brittany, and basically just fucking other girls in general. And Tad asks Zeke for advice on how to get Brittany into bed. And Zeke says, well, I'll just run down to town and get some more beer and rubbers. And for some reason, Tad hears rubbers and think that Zeke is accusing him of being gay. Like, I'm not gay. I don't need rubbers for, I guess, anal sex.
He says, I'm not gonna get AIDS through anal sex. I don't need rubbers. And this was the '80s when AIDS were, it was the gay disease.
Yeah, it was,
or thought of often as a gay man's disease.
So Zeke fires back on him like, damn fool. And the last thing they need is a couple of knocked up Christian skanks. So again, this is supposed to be a priest who's just
or a member,
a clergy member, deacon, something like that, and just awful.
Well, you know what he's in it for?
Yeah,
those hot Christian white women.
So Zeke, he goes off to the van, but he drops the keys, and from out of nowhere, there's Sister Mary Chopper standing behind him with the axe. Zeke just comes out of nowhere. Zeke slowly stands up as Sister Mary recites Bible verses, and then cuts off Zeke's head so hard that it flies a good 20 feet at least and bounces off a tree.
Boom! With impact.
Yeah.
And of course, Zeke, before he gets, God damn!
So now Sister Mary starts hearing voices in her head
And
as
the
she
blood
walks.
is just billowing out of the stump.
Yeah, it is.
And the neck, yeah.
So Sister Mary's hearing voices in her head as she walks away, and we see some crazy flashbacks of a nun punishing like a choir boy or something.
And it's this heavy-set nun in that same lair where he was, or very
very
much
similar, yeah.
to it. And she's got an eye patch on, and she's a real big lady, like with the ruler and yelling.
That's
the camera's looking up at her, and she's yelling down.
Yeah, that's Gigi Bannister, the guy's wife. And so basically, like, if you could tell by the size of Sister Mary, but if it wasn't obvious before, it makes it plain and simple. Like, Sister Mary is a man.
Right.
So we jump to Tad, who's trying to lay game on Brittany by telling her like his football stories, like his hero moments. And they decide to meet at the fire pit at midnight. And Tad heads off, but he gets intercepted by Cummings, and who's asked, "Hey, have you seen Zeke?" And Tad's like, yeah, I think he went in town for matches or something." So now Tad spots Zeke sitting in the van, and he approaches him, and as he gets closer, he notices like Zeke's covered in blood. And when he reaches out to touch Zeke, Zeke's body just falls out of the driver's side door, and his head falls off and rolls away. Tad screams, takes off running. He stops by a tree to kind of collect himself.
Shake it off.
And Sister Mary appears and just slices Tad across the stomach with an axe. Blood sprays out like a damn super soaker.
And fucking buckets of organs
Yeah.
come falling out.
And so from a waist down shot, and just more blood is cascading down him like Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
And his intestines all fall out, and the blood it just looks like red, like a gallon of red paint is dumped out.
It just looks like water with food coloring in it. They're just
To me, it looked
dumping
more
it
like
out
paint,
everywhere.
but yeah, it's just so liquidy. It's so much. So we cut to Jennifer, who's smoking outside her cabin, while Father Cummings and Millie are talking in his office about how they think the weekend's going. And Millie's like, oh, blah, 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 I have to go check on the girl. She leaves. In the boys' cabin, Vance is reading his Bible while Timmy's asleep. Vance wakes him up to get him to stop snoring, and Timmy's like, I wasn't snoring, I'm going to go get a soda, and he leaves. So that gets him out of the room. So now we see Brittany sneaking out of her cabin to go to the fire pit to wait for Tad, who obviously is now dead. Cummings is shown lounging. Oh, God, this... Again, what's with the priests in this movie wear the most ridiculous outfits, because this Father Cummings is in his bed, lounging on, smoking a joint, wearing kitten slippers with some crazy pajama pants that look like they should be for a child.
Yeah.
Because they're blue with like multicolored dog bones and paws on them, along with a wife beater and a silk robe.
With his fucking hair and goatee, just this crazy image. This guy looks so nuts, and he's reading a magazine called Communion.
Yeah, no, it's he's having read a copy of Communion, which has a picture of a hairy man in skimpy briefs on the cover, along with the tagline, "Devil got you down, let Jesus get you up."
Oh.
And I'm sorry, this whole magazine's hilarious because I actually spent time. I was like watching this magazine in the scene, and it says it's the baptism swimsuit edition, and the back cover of it has a bald man with like facial stubble, and he's only in white. He's like his whitey tighties briefs, and he's got like a towel draped around his neck, and and there's like the words that say, "Let's lust, pray." You know, it says lust, and then it says pray hard for me, and then underneath the picture is a phone number 1-800-GET-SAVED. So it's like more like
you really did pay attention a lot to that magazine
I couldn't help
cover.
it. Like I wanted to see how many gags, like because I was making.
Marshall, is there anything you'd like to confess?
No, but I was like thinking this is a problem. Like somebody had to have like printed this out. Like somebody made this, which like it's hilarious. Like especially if you. They probably did like a home print or something, but if you had like went to like a print shop or something like that, like
a Kinko's or something,
it's like, hey, I need you to print this out for me. Like, what would people think if you saw that magazine?
Pretty awesome.
So anyway, there's a knock on his door. Cummings hides his joint in his dirty mags, and he goes to answer the door, and he opens up, and Sister Mary just slices him twice across the face with a dagger, and then stabs him in the chest, turns and leaves. Back to Brittany, who's at the fire pit. She eventually gets tired of waiting for Tad. She leaves. She's like, I'm out of here. Millie enters Cummings' office. She sits at the desk, pulls out 2 tiny bottles of vodka.
Airplane bottles, yeah.
Yeah, and then searches the desk for a glass. And in doing so, she finds a newspaper clipping, which we can assume is about the murders at the camp 7 years ago.
Right.
And she says to herself, he knew this whole time, or he knew.
And they
or
never
something.
showed the clipping.
Yeah, they
either.
never show
Yeah.
it. And this takes us back to Brittany, who's changing in her cabin, getting into bed. She lays down, and somehow she doesn't see the gigantic person lying in her bed.
Like the 6'2" man
Yeah.
lying in her bed.
Yeah. And then when she does realize him, she thinks it's Tad. She said, "Oh, I knew you loved
But
me."
she never turns to look at
Never
him.
turn. Like we saw the same shit in like the Killer
Killer
Eye.
Eye.
And so now we see Sister Mary sit up behind her, and she's like running the cross like down Brittany's body. And she says that today she learned about loopholes. So she's thinking that they can do it in the butt to get around the rules.
And Sister Mary's reactions are like,
whoa. Yeah. So she takes the cross. Sister Mary takes the cross, jams it up Brittany's ass. And Brittany's like, oh, go a little slower. But Sister Mary just keeps plowing, fucking her with this crucifix
Christ.
up the ass. Brittany finally kind of rolls over to see it's Sister Mary, who then holds up the cross, which is now covered in blood.
Mm-hmm.
And Sister Mary tells Brittany to choke on Jesus, sodomite, then plunges the bloody cross that was just in Brittany's ass down Brittany's throat, causing her to choke to death.
Damn.
Oh, goddamn.
Damn.
I gotta say, I gotta say that's a first. That's a first.
Yeah, that's an original one.
That is original. So Jennifer wakes up now, and she finds Brittany dead in her bed. And again, like, how in the blue hell did Jennifer not wake up when Brittany was being killed?
God. Or just jammed in the ass with a
Yeah.
crucifix.
I mean, it's not like she was being quiet at all.
Right.
And she was getting fucked up the ass by a cross while moaning, and then talking and struggling while being choked. And the beds are like maybe 3 feet away.
Ooh.
Oh, it angers me. Like if they were to show Jennifer walk in,
Right.
like walk in the room, that's fine. I wouldn't complain. But they show her
She's
like
right there.
She's right there, getting out of bed. Oh, anyway, so Millie shows up now, and the two of them just run off to the office to call the police. Jennifer sees the newspaper article, and just by glancing at it, knows that Millie has been lying about who she is. Which, again, unless the headline reads, Miley is really Gloria.
Right.
There's no fucking way that Jennifer could have read that article that fast. Plus, like, we see the article, there's not like a picture of Millie in the article that says Gloria.
Nope.
Or that Gloria is the only survivor. Like, how would she know that Gloria is Millie? There's no indication. Like, God, it makes no sense.
Maybe she's a speed reader.
Dude, that's beyond speed reading. That's like, I look at this, I know exactly what
Done.
Yeah. So Millie then
I'm trying, brother. I'm trying.
I know. Millie comes clean about who she is and tells her story. And we get another flashback, and this is where we find out that she was the one that was getting fucked by Dwayne.
Yeah,
in
they
the
were
flashback.
hooking up, and before anything could really happen, and Dwayne got
Right.
Well,
They were like
brutalized.
They were like mid coitus when that happened.
Okay, good use of the word coitus, by the way.
There you go. And now I also know another continuity I noticed, because this flashback is supposed to be the exact same night that Dwayne got killed, and everybody got killed at the very beginning of the movie.
Right.
When we first see Millie, she's wearing roller skates and that crazy ass eye makeup on. But when we see her in this flashback, the eye makeup's
it's gone.
completely gone,
Yep.
even though she's wearing the same shirt. So they fucked that one up too.
Way to go, guys.
So the two of them, they leave to go find Father Cummings. Now we cut back to Skunk, who one of the brothers at the gas station. He's passed out in a chair with Dwayne's chalkboard on him. And the chalkboard now reads "Revenge."
And his face is covered in chocolate.
Yeah.
You can only assume.
Like, yeah, I get you're supposed
what
to be
the
melted chocolate, but
fuck
who
is the point?
like? Yeah, exactly. Who eats like that?
What the fuck? It's just all over his face.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Like,
make any. Is
it
it
makes
supposed
no
to be?
sense.
Is it supposed to be funny? Is it a gag? Is it just being fucking weird?
Yeah, like it's like that's something you expect to see, that kind of like gag, or like the fat kid, or who's like
Right.
always eating
He's
chocolate,
just-
but he's like a scrawny, skinny little
He's just some
hillbilly.
dude. He's just some dude. Yeah.
So JJ comes in, wakes him up, and just puts Skunk in a sleeper hold, asking where Dwayne is. And once JJ releases Skunk, he tells Skunk to go call the sheriff, and Skunk then asks, JJ, what are you going to do? And then JJ says, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to save the day, fuck nut. End of scene.
I kind of like JJ.
I know. I gotta say, I like that too.
He's not a bad actor. I think he's kind of fun.
No, JJ, yeah.
I kind of liked him.
He's fun. So back at camp, Millie exits the office and finds a shirtless Timmy standing there asking where the soda machine is. Now, Sister Mary just walks up behind Timmy, and all Millie does is say, oh, fuck. She doesn't say, Timmy, look out, Timmy, run. Oh, my God. She just goes, oh, fuck. And Timmy turns around to see Sister Mary.
Right on top of him.
Right behind him. Timmy falls to the ground crying.
I mean, like a baby. Like, again, special needs.
Yeah, like a 5-year-old, like a toddler. Yeah. And Sister Mary just picks up a cinder block that
which
just
is
happens
right
to be
next
there.
to Timmy.
Yeah, because there's cinder blocks just all over the woods. You know, you just find cinder blocks in the woods. And just drops it on Timmy's head.
And this scene is so bonkers. He's like Sister Mary standing. Oh, it's a you can see both of them standing over like a side shot.
Yeah, it's a side shot.
And Timmy's they're all fat, shirtless, holding this cinder block far above her head, and then drops it. Timmy's head explodes.
Yeah, it fucking pops and crushes it like one like Gallagher's watermelon,
like a fucking water balloon.
Yeah, it just boom.
And
gone.
I just went, no, no, you fucking didn't. I mean, what is his head made of? Oh,
so Millie screams. She runs away. Now we see Dwayne again. What's again supposed to be another comedy shot they tried again. He's trying to wheel himself down this rocky dirt road that's full of like potholes and all this, and he can't get anywhere. So he tries to stand up and walk, but as soon as he stands up,
it's the big moment where he gets a leg down, he gets another leg, and he's gonna stand up, and as soon as he does, he falls on his face.
Face plant right into the dirt. So Jennifer and
I mean, we're offensive to the handicap as well.
Yeah, like everybody's a target in this one. So Jennifer and Millie, they find Father Cummings dead. Sister Mary enters behind them with the axe. Oh, this is brutal. Kills Millie with an uppercut upswing of the axe straight to the vagina. And they show a close-up of this, and the axe is like firmly implanted into Millie's vagina with blood just pouring out over it.
Deep, baby, running deep.
Yeah.
That axe is balls deep.
Is half deep. So yeah.
And the blood is pouring out, like you said, like a fucking garden hose got turned on.
Yeah,
it's just pouring out.
So Jennifer, of course, she screams, she runs away.
She got mouth blood from that too.
Yeah, she did. She did get mouth blood.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about mouth blood in a while.
We haven't done mouth blood in a while. Mouth blood.
Mouth blood.
Hashtag mouth blood.
So Sister Mary stalks after Jennifer, who runs away screaming. And she tries to run into this one building, but she gets stopped because she runs into Vance, who has now been crucified across the open doorway.
Yeah, he's got a bloody mouth. He's been nailed to the
side of the door.
To the door, so his arms are kind of out in that stigmata kind of pose, or it's that crucified look. Yeah,
and he's screaming, begging her for help and Jennifer's like struggling just to get by him, and somehow in this struggle, Vance's hands get ripped off the nails, like holding him up, and he falls on top of Sister Mary. Right, Sister Mary closes in. Sister Mary just like rolls him off and rolls on top of Vance, and then stabs him a bunch of times, kills him. Jennifer once again gets away. Now she's hiding inside this dark building, and she starts to pray. And while she's praying, she's got her hands full.
She's doing the Lord's
Prayer thing or whatever she's saying. And it's it's just like her softly lit by candlelight from the front, and we see Sister Mary slowly emerge from the darkness behind her with her hands in the praying position. And Sister Mary just kneels down behind Jennifer while she prays, and then and she looks like she's joining her in prayer.
Right. It's very obvious she's right next to her with hands, prayer hands.
And once the prayer's over, Sister Mary then kind of leans in and says, "Amen," or "Amen," or whatever she says. And again, Jennifer screams away. And this kind of angry because she screams for I'm not saying she screams for a long time, but she screams for long enough that if this killer she'd easily be dead.
Yeah.
I mean, she's right there. All the killer has to do is reach out or stab her real quick, and she's like, "Ah!" and then runs. Like, just run. Like, she should be dead. She should be dead.
You should be dead for doing that scream. God damn, Marshall, my ears. Oof.
Sorry. Sorry.
My headphones up are a little high, I guess. Woo.
So, I just lost my place in my notes.
I don't wish you dead, Marshall.
So anyway, okay. Now nowhere. We cut back to Father Cummings. This is where it gets real fucking awesome.
And this is when the wheels come fucking off.
Yeah, the wheels are off the car at this point.
If they were wobbling and shit before, now they're just gone.
It's gone. So Father Cummings wakes up to find Jesus standing over him. And you want to guess who plays Jesus? All of you out there, all the Moon Goons. I'll give you 2 seconds and I'll some science here to guess who plays Jesus.
Because you're probably going to know.
All right. Ron goddamn Jeremy, the motherfucking hedgehog, plays Jesus in this movie.
I've lost how many movies he's been in that we've done. It's like
this is
4 or
5 now
yeah.
or something like that. And I did not know he was in this when I first picked this movie. I had no clue. I didn't even know he was in it till I got to this point in the movie. Like, what the fuck? That's Ron Jeremy. And at this point, like I said, I lost it here. Like you said, the wagons came off. I lost it.
It's done.
So anyway, the divine hedgehog tells Cummings that he that he can be a butt slayer, a turd burglar, a dick smoker, a baloney pony rider, and still have the kingdom of God. That being queer is not a problem. But Cummings says he knew about what happened here, but still brought the kids here. I'm responsible. That's when Jesus snaps and comes and says, now that we do have a problem with you, little homo, that we can't forgive. So Jesus...
So Ron Jeremy Jesus says it's okay to suck some dick. You can go into heaven, no problem.
But don't bring kids to mercy, because that'll take you to hell. So Jesus kneels down next to Cummings and tells him to go save the camp and kick a sister's ass. So Cummings hops up, he rushes out. Jesus then says, hot damn, there goes another disciple. I love the Jesus business.
I kept expecting to look at the gay porn underneath the bed.
That would have been hilarious.
In the shot, it's right there.
Oh,
it's right there in the shot because Pastor Cummings put it under the bed.
Yeah.
And he was laying down on the floor, and that it was right there in the shot. And I was expecting him just to go, and like take a couple, like a little look through it.
That would have been hilarious. I wish that would have happened. I wish that would have happened. So
unfortunately, guys, it didn't. Sorry.
So we go back to Jennifer, who's running through the woods. She's looking over her shoulder, and she kind of runs into Ted's corpse, which is somehow magically standing against the tree, even though he's been like
gutted
or like split in half. And she falls on top of it.
Her face goes right into
like
the
guts. Intestines.
So she pops her face up, and it's just covered in blood.
She gets up, runs away again. So now Jennifer runs into JJ and Skunk, who have shown up looking for Dwayne. And they see Sister Mary show up, but at this time, Dwayne shows up. They're both there. Everybody shows up together now. Dwayne hobbles, limps, whatever, his way towards Sister Mary, tackles her to the ground, basically just kind of falls on him.
Flops on him, yeah.
Sister Mary just sits back up. The mask is gone, and we see that Sister Mary is actually the punk guy that Jennifer met at the gas station. So now it's come full circle. Now we know who it is. And JJ steps up, ready to take on Sister Mary. Mary recites Revelations 12:12 and puts the mask back on. And then simply just kind of rushes JJ, stabs him in the neck, killing him. Like, really anticlimactic.
There's this scene. It's like they're setting up the fight scene. They're setting up the fight between JJ, who's a big boy.
The two big guys.
And Sister Mary's a big guy, too.
Yeah.
And then he says this Revelations 12:12, and then JJ does this stupid, like Scooby-Doo kind of pose.
Yeah, I forgot he does do like a Scooby-Doo pose.
And then and then I think even what's her name's like, oh boy.
No, that's coming up. That's coming up.
So, he does this stupid like cartoon like kind of I'm scared and surprised, and without even like there's not even a scene of him walking or moving. It's just the next scene is a knife in JJ's throat.
Yeah.
There was no inkling or any sort of.
It was such an anticlimactic. I was like, okay, let's see.
It was an instant. I mean, he didn't even take a step towards him. It was just the next cut was a knife in the neck.
He was like just teleport.
It was really poorly done. It was. I mean, there's a lot of things that are shitty about it, but that was bad. That was really bad.
I was really disappointed. I was really hoping for more. So At this point, JJ collapses on top of Dwayne, who struggles for a bit, says "ouch," and then I guess Dwayne dies too. Like the fatness of JJ like crushes his
JJ
innards.
falls in front of Dwayne, who's not spoken one word since his trauma. He's going, ouch,
And then dies.
Then like faints or dies or whatever.
I'm assuming he dies because we never see him again. So Jennifer screams. She screams out for God to do something, and on cue, Father Cummings shows up behind Sister Mary, and this looks like a standoff from like an old Western movie now. Like they're standing there, Mexicans stare down,
and
whatever.
they're staring each other in the eye. Yeah.
Father Cummings recites some more Bible verses and then charges Sister Mary. And this is where I lost all respect for the movie. Like I was on board with the campiness and silliness because it's kind of balanced. I've seen worse. But at this point, I lost everything for this movie because it goes from campy to straight up slapstick at this point. Because Cummings, who's like an old man, he's like 50, 60.
Skinny guy, yeah.
He starts trying to punch Sister Mary over and over in the chest.
And it's right in the tits. Right in the fake
fake tits.
that...
And it's done in such an over-the-top comedic way. I mean, and then they're playing music that sounds like it came from like a Tom and Jerry cartoon.
Almost Benny Hill-esque.
Yeah, it's so awful what happened. Yeah, and it's not until Cummings kicks Sister Mary in the nuts that Sister Mary falls to her knees, and then Cummings starts doing like these silly kung fu poses, and Sister Mary just gets right back up. Cummings then pulls Sister Mary's face towards him by sticking 2 fingers up the nose of the mask.
Of the mask.
And then, like, pulls him in and, like, honks the nose or something. And then says, you have...
Fucking Mr. Miyagi?
Yeah, it's like, then he says, you have hell to pay, sister. Palm strikes Sister Mary under the chin and darts off. Sister Mary falls down, but that does like a Undertaker, Kane, Michael Myers sit up, just like, zoop, right up. Cummings grabs the cross dagger to face off with Sister Mary. And this is what you're talking. This is where Jennifer does like her best like Macaulay Culkin impersonation. But instead of saying like she goes, "Oh boy!"
Yeah,
it's fucking awful.
And her face is covered in blood.
She's got her hands to her face,
and there's like a light behind her, and she's like, "Oh boy!"
Yeah,
you know, like it's awful.
Again. Like they went complete slap. Like why? Like nothing in this movie had up to that had been that slapsticky.
It's been tongue in cheek, you know.
But this is just straight up awful.
Yeah.
So Sister Mary then charges Cummings and impales himself. He ends up impales himself on the cross dagger. Sister Mary falls down dead. Jesus is seen walking up, and he's backlit to make it look like he's walking out like the bright white light, and he's playing Amazing Grace on a harmonica.
Doing a damn
fine job. But this is like the second movie we've seen Ron Jeremy play the harmonica in now. So he speaks like directly to the camera, saying, "I hope you all learned a valuable lesson this weekend." Cummings just pops up in the frame saying, "I never doubted you for a minute," followed by Jennifer says, "Holy shit, I can't believe it's you." Jesus then tells her, "Well, maybe you should believe so you can stop all your bitching," or something like that. And he's he's laying it on her. And he closes out by saying, "Bless you all," and then plays as the Saints go marching in on the harmonica as he walks off into the light. Now, Skunk rushes up to Jesus.
Oh, yeah, remember he was there the whole time.
Yeah, forgot about Skunk, who did nothing. He grabs him by the shoulder, but you don't grab Jesus by the shoulder. He does not like that. And Skunk asks Jesus if he's taking JJ and Dwayne with him, and he says, "Yes, heaven is for everyone." And then Jesus looks straight into the camera and says, "Except you." And then he does like his best like rocks people eyebrow like impersonation, like he tries like to raise the eyebrow, and it freeze frames, fade to black, roll credits. Now during the credits, they do show some clips and like mostly clips, but like a few outtakes because you see like there's a scene like where Father Bob in the beginning is getting killed, and you definitely see the wig get come off while he's getting killed. But there's also a hidden scene that takes place like immediately after we see Jesus walk off, and we see Cummings and Jennifer standing there laughing like, "Oh God, it's over." They say, Cummings says, "Hell of a weekend," and the two of them kind of like walk off together, arm in arm, or so they just kind of walk off together. And at this point, Sister Mary sits up like right in front of the camera, like face the camera, side profiles. And then Brittany walks into frame behind Sister Mary. She's holding her bloody, bleeding ass while she's wearing like this white sleepwear and saying, "I don't think I'm a virgin anymore, but I kind of liked it." Roll rest of the credits. That is Bloody Bloody Bible Camp.
Jesus Christ.
So, pretty interesting movie. Lots of kills in this one.
Tons
of kills. So, let's jump right into favorite kills.
There can be only one. Favorite kill?
Aaron, what would be your favorite kill of this movie?
So there is a lot to choose from.
There are a lot to choose from.
I mean,
actually, I wrote this down. I was keeping track of this, but I went back and took out the two people who didn't actually die, because at first they make you think Brittany and Cummings died, but they don't, so I took them off. And I took off Sister Mary because she pops up at the end.
So I can't choose Brittany?
I was thinking that would have been mine, but she's at the end. She's alive.
Yeah.
So, but there are a total of 15 kills in this movie.
Jesus.
So there are 15.
Okay. All right. So I gotta kind of go with. I can't. I like the effect of the Nick kid getting killed, the fat kid getting killed. Isn't that his name, Nick?
The fat one?
Yeah.
Is Timmy.
Timmy, my bad, Timmy. I thought it was Nicky for some
Oh,
reason.
the cinder block.
The cinder block
to the head.
I like the effect because it does a really good job of like looking like it's actually squashing its head, but that's fucking impossible. So I'm kind of upset with that one. So I think I'm actually gonna go with. I'm gonna have to go with Tad getting sliced open across the gut and all the gut spilling out. Just the ridiculous amount of the goo coming out. I kind of like the below shot. It's just buckets of blood and crap flowing out, and you see his leg kind of twitching. It was I liked it all right. Another one that it's going to get an honorable mention is not one that you probably would guess too much of. Is the fat guy in the very beginning, the balding kind of the guy who was just there, the one
Brother
who looked
Bo.
like Donna's dad. Yeah, Brother Bo.
Yeah.
His stab came into the neck but down into the body.
Yeah.
Which is a great way to kill somebody. And you don't see that a lot in movies these days. You see it in like gladiator movies and stuff, but it's like the stab through the collarbone into the chest cavity. What a fucking great way to kill somebody. And the blood's spurting out and he's falling down. It was a great kill. But I think I'm going to go with Tad.
Okay. Now, for me, again, I wanted to pick Brittany because that was unique and original, but at the end, it turned out she doesn't really die, so I took that off. Man, I got torn. There's a lot to choose from. Millie, the Axe of the Vag, that looked awful. I mean, not like awful, like, oh, that looked bad. I just mean that looks like, oh god, that
Pretty
looks
brutal.
pretty brutal. And the fact that they showed the close up of it, like, really stuck up in there, and but I'm gonna go with Dirt Stash guy.
That whole scene.
I'm going with the dick capitation.
Sure.
That's like I gotta say to my root. That's my streak. If it's a dick capitation, it seems to be what I'm going. But it's not just a dick capitation. I mean, he's like straight up banging a dead corpse, a headless corpse, and he's just fucking her, and then he gets killed. Well, at the same time, so I'm like, that's insane. That is so bonkers. Like, it's hard to even wrap your head around that.
It's a good one.
So I think I'm going with that one as my favorite kill for this week. So that will bring us now to the odds and the ends.
Not only did they watch these films, they researched them too. Ugh, what is wrong with these guys?
All right, ratings, like we always do. IMDb gives it a 5 out of 10. So standard, pretty average. Rotten Tomatoes, there is no official thermometer score, but it only has a 17% audience score.
Not a big surprise.
But Amazon, it has a 4.3 out of 5 on Amazon.
Wow.
So
how many people voted on it, though?
There were at least 5. Well, when we get to 5-star reviews, there were like at least 4 to 5 pages of 5-star reviews alone.
Wow.
Not to
So
mention
a lot.
like the other 1 through 4. But the weird thing was, there were no plot keywords for this movie. That was the first. So
There'd be so
many. Like my first one would be I'd be necrophilia.
Yeah.
That's my first one right there is necrophilia. So Yeah, I was stuck. I don't think we've found a movie that doesn't have plot keywords.
Crucifixion, anal rape.
Yeah, there you go. So, hey, Moon Goons, if you want something to do, you ever watch this movie or listen to this, go to IMDb if you have an account and add some plot keywords if you want. Have some fun with that. Be the first. With that said, I do want, at this point, I want to say a big thank you because I actually sent out a letter, an email to the producers of the movie, and I actually got a reply from Reggie Bannister and their wife Gigi.
Oh, great.
Who are the producers of this movie as well, because they were the ones who sent me the information for this week's budget game.
Oh, shit.
Time for Aaron to blow his wad with the budget game.
So, let's play the budget game with Bloody Buddy Bible Camp.
Oh.
Now, they gave me two numbers. They gave me the number for the actual movie production itself, like the shoot, and then how much they spent on post-production. So I have the grand total.
Okay.
But to make it easier, we're just going to go with the grand total.
Yeah,
so
I was about to say.
the total budget. I'm not going to split it up into two. So what do you think the total budget was for this movie?
This is me in 2012, right?
2012.
Yeah. Okay. Ron Jeremy's in it. It's a name, but it's also he's done a lot of these fucking things.
Yeah.
A lot of gore. I'm gonna go 250,000.
You shot your load again.
How much did I shoot my load?
Total budget 56,000.
Jesus squeezes. I'm so bad at this.
But you've nailed it a few times. You've actually nailed it exactly right.
I've hit
a couple
it a few
times.
but man, I was thinking, yeah, I guess, it was a pretty cheap movie. Those guys got paid a little more.
Yeah, 56,000 is what I got straight from the horse's mouth. So again, I want to say a big thank you to Gigi and Reggie Bannister. And now I cannot confirm this yet, but I have been in talks with them about possibly, if schedules and everything lines up, about doing an interview with them about this movie. So that could happen. So that you could, I'll let you know. But that could be another bonus episode, another interview with these if we can have this work out. So let's move on to 5-star reviews.
Is this your guilty pleasure? 5-star reviews.
All right, 5 stars. There were pages of them, but here's some of the ones that I wrote down. 5 stars for sure. This film has everything you want out of a campy horror movie. Hot chicks, hilarious dialogue, and lots of gore. Oh, and Ron Jeremy is Jesus Christ, of course. My suggestion, Beer Buddies and Bloody Bloody Bible Camp. 5 stars. I kind of like that because we always talk about the 3 Bs. Also,
pretty decent review.
Yeah. From B. Wasden. This is the longest one, but it's nothing, it's not too bad. Bloody Bloody Bible Camp might be the most offensive movie ever made for Christians. As a Christian myself, I had a hard time with some of the sacrilegious elements of this movie, but I do have an open mind, so I was able to push my beliefs aside and enjoy the slasher and comedy elements that this movie had in store. This is a fast-paced and fun ride that delivers everything a good slasher needs to, and in many parts of the film, it had a real Friday the 13th feel to it, which I don't know about that.
Yeah.
The setting, the murders, and even some of the music really paid good homage to Friday the 13th series, and this thing is full of gore. There are several murders in the first 10 minutes alone. There is also nudity, so Bloody Bloody Bible Camp might offend many people, but if you are open-minded, I say give it a watch. It's a lot of fun in spite of itself. 5 stars.
That is one open-minded Christian.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. I guess that's the way you're supposed to be if you're a Christian.
Yeah,
right?
supposed to. From D. Came into the movie without knowing what's it about.
Oh, shit.
Wow, there's a ton of deaths and blood and nudity. And the only reason I'm giving it this 5 stars because it has Ron Jeremy in it. I met him in real life, and he's very kind and sweet in person. 5 stars.
Ron Jeremy carries some weight.
Yeah, and who knows, with the name D, maybe fucked Ron Jeremy too.
Who knows?
Could have fucked Ron Jeremy. From Morbid Dan X. This isn't for the amateur collector. It's a bad movie, but it's what makes it so great. If you understand that, then you should get a copy. 5 stars. And from Marcus Papadopoulos. Without a doubt, this movie is worth its weight in crap, but still very entertaining. If you're into this kind of thing, just have a laugh with it. 5 stars. So I just never heard anybody say it's worth its weight in crap and then still give it a 5-star review.
But it is. It's not trying to pull any punches. It's schlock. It is crap. And that's kind of what you're going for. You're going for that market. I mean, right off the bat, we're talking about how it's so compared. It's very much Troma-esque, cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
So it is worth its weight in crap, but that's what you're getting. And
Yeah.
that's what you know you're going to watch.
Exactly. So that's kind of that wraps us up. So let's go final thoughts, final words. Before I do want to mention this before we go into that. Another reminder that June 17th, 18th, and 19th, we will be at the Contamination Horror and Sci-Fi and Pop Culture Convention here in St. Louis. So if you're in the nearby area and you're into that thing, come by, say hi. We'll have a booth there. You can check us out. We'll be recording a live show and doing some other recordings and just having fun. So come by, swing by, check out.
We got beer koozies for you too, bitches. So at least get that.
Yeah. So with that said, let's go into final thoughts. Aaron, what do you got here for us?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's shitty. It's poor acting. It went from tongue in cheek to slapstick, out of controlness.
Yeah.
But that's what it was advertised as. So I'm gonna have to say, so bad it's good. But man, it's a fun film. But just don't take it seriously. Don't take offense to it, Christians. Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm gonna agree with you. I was expecting a lot worse.
Me too.
When I saw this I saw the cover. I'm like, oh god, this is gonna be awful. 'Cause I was really expecting something like along the lines like The Wicked or a Bloody Mary or a Night of the Dead type movie. Even though 2 of those had Ron Jeremy in it too. Actually, Bloody Mary. All 3 of those had Ron Jeremy in it. Shit.
Did. Oh my god.
But I was very pleasantly surprised that it turned out to be a lot better than I thought it would. Yeah, the like murder lightning round at the beginning of the movie is really entertaining. It does have its slow parts in the middle, but I guess a lot of films are having it down.
But I gotta say, Pastor Cummings fucking saved it. He really did the best, I think, out of all that.
But yeah, I had a hard time because once it went slapstick, I really had a hard time with this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was enjoying it up to then, like even for its campiness and its badness, because I can enjoy that. But just that sudden turn to slapstick, like it suddenly became like I was expecting like a Wayne's brother to pop up or something all of a sudden, like scary movie style.
Right. It was a little over the top.
Yeah,
I mean, now Ron Jeremy is Jesus. I was still holding on.
With Ron Jeremy as Jesus, I'm like, holy shit, are you kidding me? Like that alone is almost worth watching this movie.
Yeah.
So I too am gonna say, so bad it's good. Especially if you do want to watch it, it's cheap. You can rent it cheap. But if you just want to watch the best parts, watch the first 20 minutes and the last 20 minutes, and you don't need all the junk in the middle.
Don't worry about the middle. Have some friends over. It's not a movie you really have to pay attention to.
No, it's not. There's
pretty fun.
Yeah, and just the kills.
Enjoy the kills.
A lot of kills, and Rod Jeremy as Jesus is awesome.
Yeah.
So that's gonna do it for us this week. Remember, check out our Facebook page. Check out our website, horriblehorrorpodcast.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at SoBadIt'sScary. We are on Instagram at Horrible Horror Podcast, and you can download and listen to the episodes also on our website, and you can do it at horriblehorror.podbean.com, as well as subscribing to us, liking us, and all that on iTunes as well. So that's going to do it for us for this week, everybody. In the meantime, watch more horror movies and always keep it tight.